Aloha everybody, Gabe here from the Hawaii Institute of Self-Reliance, his survival. Thank you for watching, welcome back. Today's video I'm going to show you how to make a bamboo rat trap. All you're going to need is some bamboo, a good knife. This is Dry Creek Forge Luck, L-U-K. I like to use a Swiss Army knife. The saw in this Swiss Army knife works really good, but you don't necessarily have to have the saw. You could do it just with a knife, but it makes life a lot easier if you have the saw for clean cuts and stuff like that, and notches basically. So a good Swiss Army knife is awesome to make traps with. This is a Camper 2. Now you're going to need some bamboo, of course. You're going to need a tube. You can make it longer than this or a little bit shorter, but this is a good length and it's not quite a foot. And one end is closed. You leave a node closed on one end, and then you just cut off right before the other node. That's what I did on this piece. And one is open where the animal would enter. So this would be like a rat or a mongoose or mouse or something like that. And this trap would be for small game. And basically you carve a notch here and a hole here. This is where the trigger goes. This is where the snare goes. You're going to need a piece that one end goes in the ground and the other end is tied, and it's this is the spring part of the snare. You're going to need a piece of rope that will tie to the trigger. And I'll explain this trigger in a second because this is the most complicated part. And then you're going to need a snare part. This is just a old phone charger cord. It doesn't work anymore. It's got metal in it, it's got copper wire in it, so the animal could not chew out of this snare. And if it wasn't phone cord, metal, snare, whatever, it probably couldn't chew its way out of this anyway, because it's such a tight container or area that it couldn't really move around. Because the idea is you get the snare around its neck and it's trapped and pinned against the bamboo tube, so it can't really move around much, and it's trapped in there. And yeah, that's the bamboo rat trap. And then I want to talk about the snare, or the trigger mechanism. This is a L trigger right here. It's basically just a notch, and basically what this does, pay attention, because where you put it is important. So you place it in the hole, right? And I'll show you later in the video how to really set it up. I just want to explain this trigger mechanism real quick. And what happens is the animal enters, right? You put the bait like right here where my thumb is, right? And then when the animal enters from this area, or the tube that's open, it pushes this back, and then it'll release, right? See, the animal will actually push that, and it'll just come right out. Now you got to place it right, because if you placed it like this, it might work, right? But the animal will go like that and actually kind of get trapped. So you have to place the trigger on the front, and then it'll be activated. Easier that way. So stick around and check out how to make one of your own rat traps or mouse traps out of bamboo, and you can also do this out of PVC. Stick around. And then what I'm going to do is saw a spot for the snare. So let's make it right about here. Now you want to only saw about halfway through. Now this will be the slot where the snare goes in. And this will be the spot where I drill a hole to place the trigger. Now I'm going to place the trigger right about here, right about there. Okay, until you got something like this. This is where your snare goes, and this is where the trigger would go. So I'm going to show you the trap set up. This is your spring stick. This is a log that I have weighting down the bamboo tube. This is the slot where you cut out with your saw, and this is where the snare goes that will actually trap the animal. This is a trigger mechanism right here. This is basically an L trigger. This is some paracord attached to the spring stick that is stuck into the ground right here. So the bait would be somewhere right here in the tube, just behind the trigger. And this is the opening for the animal. And then this part right here is closed. You know, a bamboo node has been left to seal off this end. And the animal will come like this into the tube after the bait, and then hit the trigger and get snared. See how it gets snared right there? It can't come out. And then it is trapped and it can't chew its way out. Snare, simple snare, just made out of wire. So this has got copper in it, so this will be great. Won't be able to chew through it, even if it could, which it can't because it's trapped in the tube. And this is the trigger. This rests on the edge of the tube, and when the animal goes into the tube, it basically hits this part and releases the trap. So let's set it up. So I put in the snare, squeeze it in there, and then once it's in there you can extend it fully. And then you take your trigger mechanism and you place it through the hole right there, and now it's stuck on the edge of the tube in the hole right there. And when you trip the trap, it traps it. There we go. Now the animal will be trapped by the snare. Simple, easy, and effective. Pretty cool, huh? Easy, simple. Probably took me about 10 minutes. Not even that, really. I think cutting down the bamboo and preparing the bamboo would be the most difficult part, or the most time consuming. And yeah, you might not be able to do it with this little knife, but you could find a way. You know, if you have the skill and the know-how and the will, I could cut down a piece of bamboo with, you know, a 3-inch knife. It would be difficult, but it could happen. And I just wanted to use my new Dry Creek Forge LUK and test it out, and you know, see how it works. And both these blades that I showed you, the Swiss Army knife and the LUK, are great, awesome blades to make a trap with. Easy, simple. And I hope you like this video. I hope you comment. I'm here for any questions. And check me out on Instagram at His Survival. I got some pretty cool pictures on there, and I post up regularly. And then I hope if this helped, you subscribe for further videos. I got some awesome videos coming up about bushcraft and survival and jungle stuff and knives. I really like knives. So anyway, hope you subscribe, for further videos, and until next time, hello.